A siwig iad háise go gomach ag an club raíonna bhonn. Háisich an lúch leisicha ALBA Jenny Selman a tainig an the dúnjé is on fiachain the urtas a gheanú.
I guess like when I was young, I kind of went along sort of twice a week to the local club, but it was all just quite relaxed and fun at that point, and that was for probably until like my mid-teens. I didn't really start taking it more seriously till it's probably in my late teens, sort of end of high school, start of university, and at that point I joined a training group through in Dundee. So I grew up in Fife, but yeah, I joined the training group in Dundee when I was maybe about 16, 17, and that's when I started to take it a bit more seriously. I trained with that group for quite a few years, like throughout my university time, and yeah, and then it's only really been in the last sort of year or so that I've actually made a bit more of a sort of a late step up.
Fa hiún gadit, gab Jenny Páirse ag bhinint me dhéadach ag na geimichin DNA an na glásachu. An na hin búniki da rèis agus ag an narpis ringi a chús cúteach iad an persanta a sé reiche.
It was a bit of a crazy day actually. So I wasn't supposed to be in the DNA match race. So Laura Muir was obviously supposed to be doing it, but she got injured and had to pull it last minute. So I ended up doing 2 800-meter races back to back, I think within about 70 minutes. So I did an invitation race, which was in the sort of DNA pre-program. That's where I got a PB. And then I stepped in last minute for Laura in the match race. And I honestly don't know how I won that, because like I was still really tired from the first race, but I think the adrenaline just got me through, and like there was a massive crowd and the atmosphere was amazing, so I think that just kind of pulled me through. But yeah, it was a brilliant day, and I think that, like, over the last couple of years with lockdown, there's been sort of empty stadiums. You've sort of been competing in front of like just empty stands, maybe like a couple of parents or coaches. So it was really nice to kind of have a full stadium and have a really like sort of loud, like buzzing atmosphere. It was great.
A Jenny is a dói a bhí a dáise farpais agus a siúi dáblína a bhaca mat dadamh nu the bhaid a górstachuch ha a cúd dúlain úr a roichpe.
The last sort of year or so, particularly like this indoor season, has been like a bit of a breakthrough for me. It's a bit strange because obviously I'm quite like old to be making a bit of a breakthrough, but it's just really nice to be kind of at the stage again where I'm running PBs, or I feel like I can try and like target making teams. Like for a long time I was just kind of in a bit of a rut, really, like kind of going through a bit of an injury cycle. I would get injured, get back fit, then get injured again, then get back fit. And, once you've kind of done that for quite a long time, you just end up just being quite unfit. And I probably, like, I still always turned up to training. I did all my runs, but I didn't really know what I was doing, what I was aiming for. I didn't really have any like sort of particularly ambitious targets. So it's just nice to be kind of back at a stage where I feel like I'm, there's like things that I can aim for, like, a sub 2 800 or trying to make a team. It's been really fun kind of getting back to this stage.
A Jenny and Doch is barach chláiníon a bhrosnacha gan spórs í a hain, agus I tuig sin cho cútramach sa hae, anna bhí a cuma lúch leis í chinóca in sas and spórs.
Yeah, like definitely so important. I think it's like one of the sort of biggest problems in girl sport generally. They kind of get to the end of high school and, for a number of reasons, a lot of girls drop out. And I think, to be honest, I think one of the sort of main things to stop them from dropping out is keeping it fun. Like, I think a lot of people take it quite seriously when they're young, and then maybe they kind of lose the fun factor. I think actually if you can keep girls enjoying it and keep it sociable, then actually that's like one of the biggest ways you can keep them in the sport for longer. And then obviously there's so many benefits to staying in the sport, not just you know, not just the sport itself, it's all the things that come with it, you know, like the friendships you build and the healthy habits that you build for life, you know. So I think actually if you can keep more girls in the sport, they're not necessarily all going to grow up to be Olympic champion or whatever, but if you can keep them in the sport for longer, then actually it's so beneficial just for their life generally.
If ein hadis ithna jeffer dúlai, ha ada Jenny inistid h-amasan ura, agus chanil na gemich na chulaias on the Birmingham, and mach as a jelach hast.
I'm glad I didn't give up. I think that there were times that were pretty miserable. Like it wasn't off. Like I enjoy running, like just fundamentally enjoy running, but like there were lots of times where it was very miserable. But I think that like actually if you do enjoy running, like stick at it, find yourself a group that you enjoy training with or a different setup that suits you, and like I would say that, yeah, just stick at it and things will probably get better and you'll start to enjoy it again. And when you do it, I would love to go to the Commonwealth Games this summer. I've got the qualifying time, but the way that the team selected means that just having a qualifying time itself doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get picked. There might be more. The Scotland team has a set number of places, and there will probably be more people who get the qualifying time than there are spaces. So this summer I'd quite like to just try and run the qualifying time a couple more times, just to kind of strengthen, I guess, my chances of being selected. So I would love to do that. I've kind of also got an eye on the Europeans time, which is just a little bit faster than my PB. But we'll just see how it goes. Training's going well out here. Hopefully I'll just kind of keep progressing and then see what happens.